Good afternoon and welcome to Inside News. It's our Wednesday morning show, Jour du Galop, where we're going to be talking a little bit about last meeting, some jockey news, obviously my two to follow, and then some barrier trials and some grass gallops for the Maiden. Remember, it is Maiden week. You can feel the excitement at training in the mornings. It's really hotting up, and it really looks like it's going to be a great Maiden Cup this year. And if you are close by or not even close by, come around to the racecourse. It's going to be a beautiful race day. Maiden Cup always is. And it's always an exciting event to go to. So make sure you come down to the track on Sunday for the Maiden Cup. Let's talk about last week. Well, I have to say it was a very, very difficult day at the office for most of us. Well, I would imagine a lot of race goers, because you just have to look at the exotic payouts. So the pick 8, there's a carryover of 2 million. The pick 6 was carried over, 1.3 million. Even the pick 4, which is very unusual, I see that was carried over 450,000 rupees as well. And then the biggest surprise of all was the payout of the place accumulated, paid 53,000 rupees. And I must be honest, in all the years that I've been here, I haven't seen a payout like that. So it was a very tough day at the office. And I think myself and Shail, I think we only managed to find 2 or 3 winners, but I don't think we were the only ones. It was a tough day, and some big results. And well, if you had a good day's racing, well done to you. Congratulations. Right. Let's talk about the feature race and Mariachi. When I saw this horse winning, I was so disappointed with myself, because I really rate this horse, and I think it was his sort of second start. But like I said, I've always said that a lot of horses come to Mauritius, run pretty well their first time, and then they sort of flatten out that second start, especially the younger horses. And I remember this horse winning at Greyville from a bad draw, and he won exactly the same as he did on Saturday. Had that bad draw, jumped out with corner offer, flat out, went to the front, and I was pretty amazed that he kept going just like I was on Saturday as well. He showed a lot of speed, and he came over from that bad draw, and he ended up winning a very, very good race. He's obviously a racehorse, and I have said that, I've said that myself. He is a very, very good horse, and well done to the Alan Pedro stable and to the connections. I know Gavin Glover, a close friend of mine as well, was very excited after that race. It looks like they got a top horse in the form of Al Mariachi. May he go on from strength to strength. Right, some jockey news. Brandon Louis, unfortunately, he got a 2 weeks suspension with interference to 7th plane with when he was riding Vars Dream, and obviously that's not going to help his chances of lifting the Mauritian title. Those 2 week suspension is not going to help him at all. And then Sunil Bandhu in an inquiry yesterday, I see he got 3 weeks for his ride on 8 cities, not riding to the satisfaction of the stewards. So that's unfortunate for Sunil Bandhu. Very nice chap, and I think, well, I heard that he sort of did admit that he made a decision and it never worked out for him, but the staffs weren't having any of it. So he's got a 3 week suspension. Right, then my 2 to follow. The first horse I want to talk about is Silver Rock from the Ramapatee Gujadhur stable, and he was having his second run after that long spell of getting him right down at the stalls. And I have to say, well done to the handlers. They really got this horse loading up quietly. And the only thing is, unfortunately, he was slow away. He lost at least 3 or 4 lengths at the jump, and he had to sort of be pushed quite early on from then. And but he wasn't in a bad position. He was about 7, 8 lengths off the field and came into the straight, and unfortunately he had to pull out wide for a run, and then he was hanging in as well, and I see Jamie Ellison battle to sort of get him to straighten up. Then he had to switch at least 3 or 4 horses out, and but he finished that race off tremendously, and I reckon that it was a little bit further. He probably, well, I think he's actually looking for a little bit further, and it'd be nice to see him. I remember JP van der Merwe gave this horse an excellent ride when he won. I think he's got a bit of ability, this horse. The fact that the starting stall problem is now behind him, well, let's hope it's behind him. I think he's definitely also is worthwhile following. Right, then the second horse I want to talk about is the Rajram Din Inmate Sacred Flame. I thought it was a cracking run for his second start. Unlike Silver Rock, he had no excuses. He jumped a little bit slow, but I thought Keenan Stein got him in a very good position. But he went for that inside run, and he actually ran on quite nicely, this horse. But like I said, unlike Silver Rock, he had no excuses. It was just an encouraging run, and it's a nice run. And hopefully he wins the race soon, because obviously Rajram Din desperately needs another winner. And I said to Raj in the week that if he doesn't have a winner soon, I might just lose some weight and come out of retirement and come back and help him out a little bit. Anyway, let's hope Sacred Flame picks up a nice win for Rajram Din soon. I think he's a nice little horse, and he was at Post Lafayette, and he definitely has got a bit of ability. Right, there were 4 barrier trials yesterday morning. I singled out 2, probably because I like talking about the newcomers. The other 2 barrier trials, they were horses that have been running, and they've all sort of been trying out with blinkers. But the barrier trials I like to talk about are the new horses, and I talk a little bit about their South African form and what I think about their ratings and etc. The first one I want to talk about was with Renjani from the Narang stable. He had the blue jacket. Haman from the Gujadhur stable, he had the red jacket, and then Harlan County. Let's talk about Renjani. Well, he galloped with blinkers yesterday morning, and it was his second barrier trial, and he's obviously made a lot of improvement from that first barrier trial. And like I said to you a few weeks ago, he's a cracking horse. He's got some excellent South African form. Remember, he beat that horse African Night Sky, one of the favorites in the July handicap a couple of weeks ago, and he's a top horse at African Night Sky. And this horse managed to beat him over 1400, and that's nothing to be sneezed at. He's obviously a decent horse, and I like the fact that he improved a lot with those blinkers, and he's only rated 47, which is quite hard to believe for a horse that beaten African Night Sky. He's obviously going to be a decent horse for Johnny. Haman from the Gujadhur stable, he tried the blinkers for the first time. He never raced with blinkers in South Africa. Hopefully it does the trick. I think you can totally ignore that last run. It was a tough race where they put the tongue tie on him, and he just never seemed to like it, and I think we'll see a lot of a bigger improvement from Haman. And then Harlan County from the Sodoyle stable with the yellow jacket. Wow, this horse has got unbelievable South African form. He ran second to that horse Surcharge, who is a top racehorse, and I think he, if I'm not mistaken, Surcharge got sold off to Hong Kong for a lot of money, and in the comment section it said he went down fighting to Surcharge. That takes quite a lot of ability, and it's amazing to think that this horse is only rated 38. He's obviously going to be a decent horse, this Harlan County. He's a young horse, and I think he's got a lot of improvement to make, and I think he's going to be a top horse for the future here in Mauritius. Okay, well, that was the first barrier trial, and some nice horses coming through there, especially Renjani and Harlan County. I think they both got pretty decent futures here in Mauritius. Right, then the last barrier trial there were 4 horses. Was Sir Capers from the Patrick Mervyn stable. He tried the blinkers on. He had the blue jacket. Dante's Rock from Alan Pedro stable, green jacket. Bonjour Baby from Raj Ramdin, he had the yellow jacket. And Cash's King from the Pitan Dabi stable, he was tried with the Monty Roberts blanket. Let's talk about Sir Capers. Well, that was a good workout for him, and with the blinkers, and he's only had the 4 starts in South Africa. His best run was his last start when he finished second over 1,000 meters, and he's a young horse, and judging by this gallop with those blinkers, he's probably going to be well suited to the 990, and he probably could be better than that 26 rating. He's, like I said, he's only had the 4 runs, a very good second, and he's arrived in Mauritius with a 26 rating. I think he's probably going to be a bit better than that. Then Dante's Rock. He's had 10 runs in South Africa, or in Durban actually, and he never managed to win a race, although he did finish in a couple of places, but never managed to win in 10 starts, which is a little bit of a worry. But I thought his gallop was quite good. Hopefully he has improved a little bit here in Mauritius, and we'll see a little bit more of Dante's Rock. And then Bonjour Baby, another horse, 12 runs in South Africa, hasn't won a race, which is obviously worrying as well. And let's hope he improves. I must say, well done to Raj Ramdin. This horse was in Post Lafayette. He looked terrible. He looked like an SPCA case when he arrived from the quarantine. He didn't look very good at all. But he's put on the condition, and Raj has turned him around beautifully. So let's hope that Bonjour Baby can do something for Raj Ramdin. And then, like I said, Cash's King. He jumped with the Monty Roberts blanket. Jumped a lot better, but he never had a hard gallop. They just wanted to get him out of the stalls and see how he jumped. He has been getting left his last 2 starts. So it was a better jump with the Monty Roberts blanket from Cash's King. Right, those were the 2 barrier trials that I wanted to show you. Then the Gujadhur stable, well, they put 6 horses on the grass. Obviously, they're Maiden Cup horses, and I'm going to talk about those 3 gallops. There were 2 each. And, well, the Gujadhur stable always do this. They always gallop their horses on a Tuesday before the Maiden Cup. It's worked with them before, so obviously if it's not broken, why fix it? I remember winning on Senior Versace, and we galloped him on the Tuesday morning. And, he ran first and second in the Maiden Cup that year, and they both galloped on the Tuesday. And I think last year as well, I think Enite also went on the grass on the Tuesday. So, like I said, this is a pattern for the stable, and it's worked for them, so they're obviously doing it again. Let's talk about the first gallop. It was Table Bay and the Great One. Remember, Table Bay is not entered in the Maiden, but I would imagine he's going to be running in the Princess Margaret Cup next week, and nice for him to get a little bit of grass work into those legs, and he's obviously a very, very decent horse, this Table Bay, and I think he's going to be a big runner in the Princess Margaret Cup next week. It was a nice gallop. He galloped very well. He galloped with the Great One, who is entered, And well, he was an excellent second to Table Bay last time at level weights. Over 1850. Is the 2,400 going to be a problem? I don't think so. I thought he ran a very good race in South Africa in strong company over 1,900 meters, and I think that he's going to manage to get the 2,400 meters. And it was a very, very good run with that weight for age behind Table Bay last time. Nice gallop from the Great One and Table Bay. Right, then the second gallop I want to talk about was the old man, Disco L. He galloped with Saint Tropez, and Disco L, well, he finally got it together last time where he managed to win his first race on Mauritian soil. And I've always said some horses, when they win, they gain a little bit of confidence. And I'm just look at Newsman, he came out and won again after sort of string of places. But he's 9 years old now, Disco L. But listen, he has got obviously he's got no problems with stamina, and he is a classy horse. So Disco L, you can't write off his chances, although maybe at weight for age he's going to be a little bit of at a disadvantage, especially in his merit rating. And then Saint Tropez, well, I have made no secrets, he was my early selection, but obviously after that poor performance last time, I can't really go with him, especially at level weights. He just never persuaded me, and sometimes horses are allowed a bad run. I'm not going to write him off completely in case my sort of initial thought was correct, so I'm not going to write him off completely. So he's obviously a classy horse. He has won the Natal Derby, and that was over 2,400. So he's also got class and stamina. He's not going to be my first choice, but I'm like I said, I'm not going to write off his chances. Right, then let's talk about Enard. He galloped with the Thinker, and obviously Enard must be everyone's, well, not everyone's, most Mauritian race goers must be the favourite to win 2 consecutive maidens, and wouldn't that be nice? I think it's going to be history in the making, winning 2 consecutive maidens. I don't think it's been done in Mauritius before, well, not that I've seen it on paper. So I'm a historian and would love to see it happen. Enard picking up 2 maidens consecutively. He's a very, very classy horse. I just think that the stable have done very, very well in preparing this horse. They've really prepped him well. He's in perfect condition, this horse, and he just looks like he's geared up to win another Maiden Cup, and he's obviously going to be the horse to beat. His gallop was very, very good with the Thinker. The Thinker, well, with the blinkers and being a specialist over a little bit shorter, it just makes Enard's gallop look a lot better than, well, I wouldn't say than what it was, but it just makes it look a lot better. And I really think that Enard is going to be a worthy favourite come Sunday, Maiden Cup Day. Right, those are the gallops, and then the last, I just want to talk about a couple of horses that I saw on the sand, and the one horse I want to talk about is 10 Gun Salute from the Gilbert Rousset stable. Remember, in my opinion, he's going to be the biggest danger to Enard. He's like Enard, he's been well prepared for this race, and he did run 2 lengths behind Enard last time. Okay, he was giving away 1 kilo, so there wasn't a great difference in the weights, and you have to think on that round Enard has got the better of 10 Gun Salute, but it is a Maiden Cup. Anything can happen, anything can go wrong, or you could just get lucky, and I think 10 Gun Salute, like I said, he's going to be the biggest danger to Enard. He deserves the utmost respect coming from the Gilbert Rousset stable, ridden by Robbie Fred. He's in very, very good form, 10 Gun Salute. Right, we're going to stick with the Gilbert Rousset stable. We're going to go over to Cara, and he's most likely going to run next week in the Princess Margaret Cup over that 1400. He's won 2 good races this year, while when ridden by Jamia Ali Hassan. He remains in top form. It's amazing how they keep this horse going. But he is as tough as nails, this horse. He really is a tough horse, and he's just one of those horses that you think deserves winning one of these big races, one of these Group 1 races. And he runs with heart. He's a tough horse, and he's really working well. And I would imagine Robbie Frad's probably going to choose the ride on Yankee Captain and not Cara, so we'll see who's going to ride Cara. I would imagine maybe Jamie Ellison, he's 1-2 on him this year, so he might just get the ride back. I don't know if there is claiming, or we'll have to find out if there is claiming in that particular race, but I don't think so. It's a Group 1, so we'll have to get back to you about that. But like I said, Robbie Frad most likely to ride Yankee Captain, but I thought Cara was in top form yesterday morning. Right, let's move over to Jean-Michel Henry stable, where he had Baritone. They worked alongside Sea King, and another horse that's most likely to run in the Princess Margaret Cup next week. And remember, he was beaten by Cara last time, but he had a very poor draw of 9 to overcome, and he was giving away weight. I think he was giving away 2 kilos to Cara. So obviously Baritone's going to be better off this time. Hopefully he gets a decent draw, and both his wins here in Mauritius have really sort of impressed me, and I really like the look of Baritone. He's working very well. He worked alongside Sea King, and well, Sea King with that eye-catching debut, he looks like he's a nice horse in the making as well. So I was pretty happy with the work of Baritone and Sea King. Right, then we're just going to bounce back to Gilbert Rousset's stable where he had captain, my captain, and remember after that great run behind Why Wouldn't You in the 3-year-old championship, he came out next time, he was odds-on favoured, unfortunately pulled up with blood in his track here, and well, he obviously has been treated for that, and well, he's going to, last week he was a reserve runner. I thought we were unfortunate not to see him run last week, but he's in top form, this horse. He's a lovely son of Captain Al, and I really like this horse, and I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and wins next time. He really looks like he's in good condition, and had it not been for that blood in the track here last time, he probably would have won, but he's in good condition, and he's working very, very well. Right, sticking with Captain Al, we're going to Suresh Narang's stable where we see Swinging Captain. I've always been a fan of this horse. I really like this horse. And if you go back to last year, he only started winning his races in September. So he's obviously a summer horse. He's really starting to regain his form now. It's obviously getting lighter a little bit early in the mornings, and he just looks like he's starting to enjoy the summer. Swinging Captain. And well, I just have to tell you, well, with their new jockey, Tristan Godden, I thought he rode a very, very good race on the way. He looks like a nice rider, Tristan Godden. I don't know him personally. And another thing is, I think that the Narang stable is going to turn the corner. They've got a nice jock now. The horses seem to be running to form. And I think they're going to finish the season off quite nicely. Right, and then the last horse we're going to talk about is Karari's Secret. He worked with Phoenix Rising, and unfortunately, Karari's Secret got scratched last time. I was expecting a big run from this little grey horse, especially after that nice first run where I think he only got beat 3 lengths by the winner, but he was running on nicely. He caught my eye, and I was looking forward to that second run. But unfortunately, he did injure the jockey, and he was scratched, and we'll probably have to wait to see him another time. He did work alongside Phoenix Rising, who has remained sort of consistent, but hasn't managed to crack it yet. Right, that's our Tuesday show. Remember, we will be doing previewing the Maiden Cup. I really hope that you guys watch it. It's going to be a great, great day's racing, and hopefully you can catch us with our next show On The Mark, where I will have Shahil with me. Thank you very much for joining us. Goodbye.